Today is May 8th, and based on what the Farmer's Almanac says, it is my last frost date today. But I know that my frost tender plants cannot go out into the garden until the last week of May, first week of June, because we have the potential to get a frost up until those points. And it has snowed at the end of May before here in Maine. So I know that I can't get anything that is frost tender out into the garden until then to be safe. But since we're about 3 to 4 weeks out until that point, I thought it would be a great time to get some of the frost tender items started. I'm going to be starting cucumbers today. I'm going to be doing the Cool Customer and the Diva slicing cucumber. And I'm also going to be getting my summer squashes started today as well. I'm going to do the Genovese summer squash, black zucchini, scallop sunburst, and the early prolific straight neck. And I believe I'm also going to attempt growing some cantaloupe and mini watermelons this year. They're kind of tough. They like really warm soil, so hopefully I can get them into a spot where they'll grow well. But I'm also going to do a couple of experiments. I did direct sow beets into my garden, but I also wanted to try and start them in these 6-cell packs, and so that way I can transplant them out into the garden to see how they do. My beets are starting to come up, but it's a little spotty. The germination's a little spotty, so I definitely want to try starting them in these cell packs to see how they do and how they transplant out. I've seen other people do it before, so I thought I might give that a shot. Another thing that I am going to try for the first time this year is direct sowing my pumpkins. I normally start them inside and then I transplant them out, but I noticed that I'm growing beautiful pumpkin vines and I'm getting tons of male flowers, but I never grow a pumpkin. And I don't know if it's because I'm starting them inside and putting them out and that kind of messes them up, or if, I'm not sure. I'm really just not sure. But I really want to grow a pumpkin this year. I don't care if it's like this big. I just want to grow a pumpkin. So I'm going to try direct sowing the pumpkin seeds in the garden. I'll probably do that. So I'll probably direct sow the pumpkin seeds the second to last week of May, maybe the last week of May, in hopes that that will help. That way they can just get established in the spot that I put them in, and hopefully not only will we get beautiful vines, but we'll get male and female flowers. I did read somewhere that tons of male flowers could indicate possible issues with watering, so that could have been the issue, because I do hand water my garden and that takes up a lot of time, and sometimes I get a little antsy out there hand watering, so that could be part of the issue, especially because we've been in a drought the past couple summers. So I will do better to water everything thoroughly if that's the case this summer. So what I'm going to do is, in these smaller 6-cell packs, I am going to plant probably 2 or 3 beet seeds per cell, and I'm going to do 4 different varieties, and I'll probably do 12 cells of each variety because I really enjoy beets, and supposedly Abram also really enjoys beets. We'll see, but I'm going to plant out a bunch this year because I really enjoy them. I'm also going to be starting some zinnias and some sunflowers in these smaller 6-cell packs to transplant out into the garden. And then probably the first week of June, I will also be direct sowing some sunflowers and zinnias into the garden as well. And then in these larger 6-cell packs, I plan on doing all my cucumbers, my summer squashes, and the melons as well. I'm not going to do a lot of cucumbers, probably 2 of each variety. I'll probably just do 1 of each variety for the melons, and then I'll figure out how I want to do my summer squashes. So I actually connected with Allison Finch and Folly. She has an Instagram named Finch and Folly, and she's absolutely wonderful. She is a wealth of knowledge, and I connected with her about growing pumpkins because she grows pumpkins and they're beautiful, and she actually gave me the advice to direct sow them, but she also mentioned that she direct sows her winter squashes as well. So my winter squashes will be direct sowed in the garden as well along with the pumpkins. So just lots of experimenting this year to see what's working, to see what's not working, and to kind of get into the flow of my new garden. My old garden, I had the seed starting and the planting down to a T. And I knew when the sun was, when my garden was in full sun, and I knew when the shade started coming in and where to put things so that, the things that needed some shade, maybe in the hottest part of the day, where that would go. And I'm really just learning about my new garden and seeing where things need to go and how I might need to do things, whether that's planting them inside first to transplant or direct sowing. So this year is a year of experiments for me, and I'm just kind of excited to see what happens and what works and what doesn't. And I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of failures, because I always do with gardening. I have tons of failures with gardening, but I'm not really disappointed when that happens. I mean, a little bit. I'm disappointed that I can't grow a pumpkin to save my life, but I am also not like super heartbroken over it, because I know that I just need to keep trying. So super excited to just keep on getting these filled up and get more seeds planted. And I'm excited. I can't wait to bring you along when it's time to start actually really harvesting things, to show you what's growing well in my garden. So I appreciate you hanging out with me, but I do have to get to work. Have a good day.